Hi, people. Welcome
Awkward. Sorry.
welcome to Occasionally Posh, where we enjoy life, laughs, and shenanigans. I am your girl, Chassie B.
And I'm Sunshine. Welcome. We got about 6 people watching so far. Thank you for joining in. Please comment, say hello, let us know you're here. Comment alone as we get to these good questions for these married men. Before we let them introduce themselves, we always start with a foreplay. And Chassie B, you're first.
Okay, so would you rather your partner have a tattoo of their ex in an area that you have to see every day, or constantly talk about their ex, and covering up the tattoo is not an option?
That's a long question.
I know.
All right, we're gonna let Chris go first.
I guess I'd rather it be the tattoo because I ain't got to look at the tattoo, but I don't want to hear the mouth.
Good answer,
I
Chris.
get it. What about you, Vern?
I agree with Chris.
How about you,
Yeah,
Sunshine?
I think I go with the tattoo as well. Maybe we can get it covered up one day.
No, that's not an option. No.
You said covering it up is not an option. You didn't say get tattooed over.
That's
They'll
true.
pay
I
that
wasn't an
sooner or
option.
would rather deal with the tattoo as well, because like if you still talking about the person, that means you still stuck on that person for some reason. I ain't got time.
Right.
The tattoo is something that was done when y'all was together and you just ain't took it off your body yet or covered it up. I can deal with that for more than I can deal with you talking about them.
Right, exactly. So what about the folks that are
bad
watching?
Boy might be faded anyway.
It's gonna fade. It's gonna fade sooner or later.
Well, I ain't gonna call no names, but somebody on here got a tattoo of somebody else on them.
I got a tattoo of my first wife on my left arm.
Is it faded?
No, not really. She got killed, and I got the tattoo in memory of her. But this is before I met my current wife. But it stays covered up most of the time anyway. But her name's on it.
Well, that's a little different, you know.
Yeah. I know that's a little different.
See, what happens in Asheboro stays in Asheboro.
You know what?
Well, she knows that.
He better be glad he don't. That's all I
Well,
what about people who watching? Would you rather you look at a tattoo every day of somebody's ex, or hear them constantly talk about their ex? So what y'all think? Put it in the comments. All right, mine is. Come on. Okay. Would you rather have a wife that cooks but doesn't clean, or clean but doesn't cook? Vern.
Both.
Really? That's not an answer. That's not an answer. You got to choose another.
To me, cleanliness is better than cooking. Is more important than cooking to me. I'm gonna eat. I'm gonna find something to eat. For peanut butter and jelly sandwich, I find something to eat. So I'd rather have the cleanliness.
Right. I got you.
Me too, me too.
You rather have the cleanliness. The way you like to eat.
Yeah.
I'm
saying I can fix my own food if I need to.
You can find food. You can always find food.
Right.
This is true. What about you, Chas? You rather have a husband that cooks, but doesn't clean, or clean but doesn't cook?
You got wives and stuff.
I would rather him clean because I'd rather cook. I hate cleaning. I despise cleaning. I want to hire somebody to come in here and clean up every day.
Same. I'd rather cook. All right. Yeah. Yolanda said neither. Yeah. Right. But anywho, thank you guys so much who have tuned in. Thank you, gentlemen, for agreeing to be a part of our wonderful experience. Before we get started, we always give people a chance to introduce it. Well, when we remember it, give people a chance to introduce themselves. So, Chris and Vern, Chris, we're gonna let you go first. You can just say your name and where you're from, or you can tell them your social media, or side hustle, whatever you want to say, whatever you want your introduction to be. Chris, you go first.
Well, as she said, I'm Chris Haddon, from Sanford, North Carolina, born and raised in Chatham County. Yep. I have the pleasure of being married to Miss Sunshine. Okay. I do a little singing on the side. I try to sell a little t-shirt or two. So other than that, I'm just living the dream. You know what I'm saying? Living the life. There you go.
All right. And what about you, Vern, Vincent?
Well, I'm Vern, Vince, Poppy, whoever you want to call me. I'm 11 year married to Anita Jordan, which is Shadonna's mother. I am a paramedic, caterer, funeral director. Anything you want me to be, I can be. I retired a couple of years ago, went back into the work field right now I'm currently a program assistant at Randolph Community College.
All right. Well, good. Like I said, thank you all again so much for joining. We keep having my family on here. We gotta get Chastity Mama, somebody need to come on.
they shame cover. They
I think they hide.
My mama ain't gonna do it. My daddy, you know his mouth, so I don't know.
They know it gotta come from somewhere. They know because your mouth ain't. I'm just saying.
His is worse.
It can't be.
All right. Well, we're gonna jump right on in. Our next segment that we're going to go through is called Agree or Nah. So we're gonna bring up the topics, and you can let us know if you agree or if you don't agree, and then we can kind of discuss them as needed. Okay. So Chris probably gonna find this first one interesting, but this is the first one. Agree or nah, a single person cannot give advice to someone that is married. I already know how Chris. So Vern, you start off.
I agree.
You agree? Explain. You don't think you can learn anything from anybody?
No, because a single person have not been there. They can only go on assumptions and somewhat of feelings and stuff. They have not experienced it, so therefore they don't know what it's like to be married. So I find it hard to take advice from somebody that has never been married before. Because me dating somebody and being married to somebody is two totally different things.
Yep.
What about you, Chris?
Yep, I feel the same way. I mean, a person that has never been married, they ain't got nothing to say about married life. I mean, they can't relate to it. I mean, it's a different set of rules or standards or whatever. You just can't tell a married person something if you ain't lived the life.
So my question is, so I don't agree, but my question is, what advice or what do y'all think that single people are telling married people that makes it not a good choice?
Well, the reason Shadonna said this question was interesting to me. Excuse me, Vern.
You fine?
To me because I just had this conversation with a coworker at work this week, and he's a single guy, and he was trying to tell me how a man should be able to go out at night with his guys, stay out all night long, not call his wife and that, and just do him, and that's not the case. I mean, once you're married and you have that commitment, you staying out all night not communicating with your partner, it just ain't straight. You can't treat a marriage like it's a boyfriend girlfriend thing. It's not the same.
But see, everybody doesn't think like that. So me personally, I don't think that a wife or a husband should go out all night and stay out all night, not communicate with their husband and or wife or whatever. So that right there is like one person may not give good advice, but another person may give good advice. To just say that as a whole, single people can't give advice is not fair. And I think if it was the case of, let's just say, for instance, the single person told the wife or husband, hey, I think that's a bad idea. I don't think you should do that. Then the other person would be like, yeah, you need to listen to her. She knows what she's talking about.
Yeah. The only reason why
I guess it depends.
Go ahead.
I
was just going to. Yeah, it definitely depends on the advice. I personally feel like you can learn something from anyone, and that may not be the right it might not be the right lesson, and it might be the right lesson. I feel like you learn from anyone. I've heard plenty of married people give terrible advice.
Me
too. Terrible advice. They build her, they've been married, they married for the wrong reasons, whatever the case may be. So just because you married don't mean you know what you're talking about either.
Well, the thing that I look at, that single person, like I say, have not been there, but once that single person has the hots for this married person and give this married friend of hers or his bad advice to try to break them up so they can slide in.
I mean, that's true.
That happens too.
True. But that spouse should be strong enough that they should not do it.
Yeah, well, some are and some is not.
But is that the person's problem or the married person's problem?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's the person that took the vows.
Both.
Well, come out.
Because if the person.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, son.
If the person that's trying to slide in knows that the other person is married, then they just as much in the wrong as the married person.
Yeah, I agree.
That's why you should keep your business behind your resident doors.
Right.
Talk to your spouse. Don't go out talking to everybody, because some people are trying to find your weaknesses.
You right about that. Just to go to the comments for a second. So D said he don't agree as well. Anita, trying to call people by their name, says, what if the single person is a minister who has a degree in counseling?
That doesn't make any difference if they got a degree in counseling, a minister or not. Ministers and stuff, they're people like we are. Talking about, just because they're a preacher, that doesn't mean that they know everything. So and when it comes to a preacher or a minister, when it comes to counseling and advice, I'm a type person. I don't want to go to my preacher for no advice, because I'll probably get over the pulpit within the next month or two. And likewise, it could be or my wife's a pastor. I wouldn't feel comfortable going to them either. For advice or counseling. I think it should be an outside source that neither one of us know.
I agree
with that. I mean, I think your pastor or your bishop or minister, elder, whoever, they are there for that. They're supposed to be your spiritual guide or whatever. So I do agree you can talk to them about some things, but I don't agree you can talk to them about everything. I agree with you on that. Sometimes you need a professional outside. That's an outside entity that has no skin in the game and ain't gonna see you every Sunday. Right. Things of that nature that you need to that you need to talk to. And then just to show it, I'm trying to make sure I get all these comments. D said he totally agree with you, Chris. So what you got, Chess?
So I know this is something that we had said before, but it was like a whole bunch of women on the podcast. So I want to ask the men, do y'all think that before marriage that counseling should be through the pastor, or should they go to an actual marriage counselor?
That's a good question. Now, when Anita and I got married, the pastor that married us, it was mandatory that we go through them. And so I think we had 6 or 7 sessions of marriage counseling, pre-marriage counseling with our current pastor that we had. But in those sessions, there was nothing personal that we talked about as far as anything that Anita and I may have been going through prior to the marriage or anything. It was just giving us how-tos, how to, show empathy, how to sympathize, stuff like that. The best topic was number 6 in his list of his catalog, which was Intimacy.
I knew that was coming. I knew it was coming. I was waiting on it. I'm like, he gonna go there. He went there. What about you, Chris? Before I tell my opinion, what about you?
About the same as Vern. Yeah, we had to get counseling through the preacher that married us. So, and he touched on some of the same things. You know, nothing. He didn't really get deep into anything personal prior to our relationship. He just gave us things to build on. So
yeah. I think most churches that marry you, they, like Vern said, they require you to do it with them because they want to make sure that in our communities, I can't say for all churches, but in our communities, a lot of the times they require that for them to marry you because they want to make sure. So I think you have to do it regardless or whatever. But I do feel like you need an outside entity to go over the real nitty gritty of things, because this is just my opinion and people might look at me weird, but you can sit here and answer me questions biblically of how I should handle a marriage all day. That ain't how marriage works. Like, I can sit here and say I'm gonna stay with him through thick and thin. I don't care what he gonna do. We can get through anything, but reality is that's why divorces are happening, because it ain't it. So I need real tools, like tools that's gonna be based outside of the Bible as well as in the Bible to help me survive my marriage. And I feel like you missed that piece when you only do it at church.
With the church. Yeah, I agree. And I think that like what Vern had said was like he didn't touch on the things that was going on before the marriage. I think a lot of the times if those things was addressed before marriage, people could possibly conquer those in marriage and divorce rates wouldn't be so high. I feel like that's just stuff that needs to be talked about.
Right. And you don't talk about the necessary things like, all right, did you look at her credit score? Did you look at his credit score? Okay, how do y'all feel about how you supposed to raise the kids versus, I mean, in a lot of churches and stuff, the man is the head of the household, what he says goes, things of that nature. But a lot of families don't live like that anymore. So you're getting this teaching before you get married, and then it's like, okay, now we're here. Well, now what? And you having to figure it out. After you marry, like, but that's just my teaching. We can go on that all night, but we're gonna move on. All right, so the next one, agree or nah, and we covered this in one of our episodes, but how y'all feel about happy wife, happy life? Look at Vern's face. Go ahead. You like you ready?
Agree.
Anita was waiting.
She like,
talking about, you know, that's a true statement. Talking about happy wife, happy life. Talking about Anita and I, you know, there are some things that we don't see eye to eye on, and the biggest thing is it's something small, the heat or the TV. I'm cold natured. She's hot natured. I'm about to freeze right now, so I got on a fleece outfit and a hat. So, you know, instead of adjusting temperature, I let her have it her way. I just go put more clothes on. Happy wife, happy life. The TV. She watched stuff that I don't particularly care for, but I either get on my phone or go look at the other TV or whatever the case may be. Let her look at what she wants to look at. When she goes to sleep about 11 o'clock, I turn to my Golden Girls and Murder, She Wrote.
I know that's right.
Happy life.
Golden Girls, yes.
What
Mama
about
didn't
you,
raise
Chris?
no fool.
I know that's right.
Right. That is true. Happy wife, happy life. I mean, we get married, we give up the eyes for we. You know, so you have to pick your battles. I mean, you have to ask yourself, hey, is it really worth me upsetting her and we having a bad night because of something small, or do I just suck it up? If she's happy, I'm happy. So, yeah, happy wife, happy life.
That's right.
So do you feel like that's unfair to men, though?
That was gonna be my question.
No, because here, when it comes to the TV, talking about, like I said, something small when it comes to the TV, if I get back there first, I get not that she let me look at what I want to look at, but I look at what I want to look at and she don't see anything. about like when she get back there first, it's her TV. So you know, I may look at it 2 days out of 30, and she look at the other 28 days, but that's fine. I'll catch up at some point. I have no problem with it.
I heard it. Well, it's good to hear because a lot of people, and it's probably mostly single people to be honest. Sorry, Chase. But a lot of people, when you say happy wife, happy life, they be like, well, happy husband, something like they say something to rebuttal to it, like. We like it's not fair to the men, I guess is what I'm saying. So it's nice to hear that y'all think that y'all not having to just sacrifice and live terribly because you try to please your wife.
No,
I think they're just happily in love, and I think that men that are miserable in relationships do not feel the same way.
Well,
it's not like washing the clothes. I wash clothes every day, but I don't fold. So, I'll wash them. I came in today, wash clothes, and she's folding. So,
I wash all the clothes in the house, but I don't want to fold them.
Honey, I hate laundry. I clean anything you ask me to do. Chris do the laundry. I'll admit it.
Put me on the bathroom duty. I will clean every bathroom if I don't have to fold laundry.
I don't like doing dishes. She don't like doing laundry. So that's how I understand it. I take care of the laundry. She take care of the dishes.
Dishwasher.
Compromise.
In fact.
Dishwasher.
And we don't get on to each other about it either. Like sometimes that don't mean I don't never do a piece of laundry. Sometimes I might throw some laundry in. That don't mean he don't never wash a dish. But we just have an understanding that that's our weaknesses and we kind of compromise on it. I mean, some days I don't feel like doing it, but I know I'd rather do that dish than wash that laundry. He don't feel like doing dish, but vice versa. And we just have that understanding. Sometimes people just bicker over, just like Vern said earlier, just it ain't worth it. What's the point? Like it ain't worth it at the end of the day.
Right.
You laying in the bed mad for nothing.
Appreciation. Yeah. I feel a little appreciation when she do something that I'm normally doing, or vice versa. I mean, it's a way of showing you care.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Exactly. All right, Chaz, only you
All
have
right.
the next one.
So our next one is soulmates don't exist. Agree or
no? What you saying, Chris? You think they do exist?
False. I call Shabana my split apart all the time.
Yo, who?
Explain what that is for the people that don't know.
Huh?
What did he say?
Split apart.
Oh, split apart.
Split apart. Well, if you don't know what the concept of a split apart is, it's that when God created a person, he created two. And he put them together. Mm-hmm. And then they were split. So you're going through life trying to find your other half. Split apart.
What about you, Vern?
Deep.
Vern, what you think?
Soulmates, yeah, I think they exist.
Do you think people usually end up with their soulmate? Let me ask that.
Yes.
You think so?
Yes. In some cases, I think they do. In some cases, I think they do. But in some cases, no. But I did.
Vern trying to get to number 6 tonight.
Yeah, I did.
You remember number 6.
I take it even a little bit further.
Okay.
I'm not going nowhere, and she's not going nowhere. So we soulmates.
All right. I know that's right.
If God see fit to take one of us home, that's a different story. I doubt I get married again, but ain't gonna be by myself. Like I told my mama, I guess I have to live in sin.
Oh God! He's shagging up, all right. We're gonna have a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. No. I heard that. All right, so for the next, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I think I found a soulmate because we're both too stubborn. We ain't going nowhere.
Not too stubborn. Not too stubborn. Okay.
I think when you find someone that you connect with on a different level than the norm, it's about the same.
Yep.
Got you.
I agree.
Got you.
And there's somebody has to be equally yoked also too with you. that's a big thing. If you two are not equally yoked, you can't be soulmates.
Ooh, explain to the
I see that comment.
Explain for people in the back what equally yoked is.
Well,
preach to him, Pop.
Do I? To me, equally yoked is the same ideas, the same morals, same characteristics of one another. Like neither can't be a party person, and I'm a church person. Talking about, neither I can't be the type of person that want to lay around not working and she go out and work. Talking about, we both got to sharing in the same things. To me, that's equally yoked.
You ain't got nothing, Chase.
No, I want to see what they think about this comment down there.
So Adam Scott said he thinks that people settle. Perfect.
Some do. Some might.
I can only speak for myself. I didn't settle.
Right.
Yeah, you gotta look at yourself on that one.
Yeah, I can only speak for myself.
Right. You think people settle, Chase?
Yeah.
Yeah.
More often than not.
Why though?
From my experience of people that I have known that have settled, they wanted to be married because their siblings got married and they just wanted to fall in line with that, or they just didn't want to be alone. I saw one of my friends today, she was posting about that she's about to turn 30 and not married. So if she gets married next year or this year, I would not be surprised. And I would think that it was honestly for settling and not for the honest, true relationship or love or whatever. I think she would just do it just because she feels like she's supposed to be married before 30, which is something that was embedded in my brain. But I was like, that's not what I'm going to do. I'm not going to settle just because that's what society wants me to do.
Do you think settling, that it lasts and or work out? Or do you think they'll divorce within a year or 5 years or less?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think some people realize that they settle and they go ahead and cut their ties. I think other people stay married just so that they can say that they are married. And other ones just, they like, oh, well, I'm here. I'm not leaving. So we're going to stick it out for 30, 40 years or whatever. I think it's just different and depends on who the person is. And
yeah,
you tell your friend to have a wedding that's less than $5,000 so she won't lose too much money.
How dare
that part.
It do cost. They cost a lot. 5,000 won't even get you much, honestly.
That's what I'm saying. Have a cheap one.
Right. Research does show, because we've done a lot of these conversations with folks, and research does show that people settle for a lot of reasons. Like in the church community, I mean, a lot of people settle because you're not supposed to get divorced. It's against the Bible. It's against what the word says. But in the whole time, you're not happy. They say research also say that some people settle because they thought they were in love and then they have kids and then they just stay together for the kids. Research showed, just a whole bunch of things. Some people settle for someone because they financially stable and got a job and can pay their bills and things of that nature. But then they're not happy anywhere else in the relationship. So they do say settling happens.
Well, I'm sure it does.
Listen, I know somebody that got married because they wanted to have sex and the pastor forced them to get married. No lie. I'm not lying.
Whoa.
I dropped my pen on that.
Wow. There's a lot of kids, PK kids, or what we call preachers' kids, that got married just because they ended up getting their girlfriend pregnant. Let's just be real. And then they don't even know if they like each other, but hey, you pregnant, now you got to get married. It happens.
Because it was instilled in us that if you got somebody pregnant, then that's your wife. So I can believe that.
That's about as worse as one of them prearranged marriages.
Right.
Yeah.
That part. But shoot, in a lot of countries, prearranged marriages last longer than unprearranged.
They ain't got no
Hey,
This is true.
Like, because in those countries, divorce is just not an option. Like, if
Yeah.
you married, that's it.
hey,
There till you die.
they gotta work. They gotta work that cattle off.
Yeah,
Bye.
work that goat off.
Oh God.
Bye.
I got a hilarious cattle story. I want to tell it, but it's like part of my family thing. And y'all, like a whole person was dead for years, so we assumed, but it's all behind a cow from years ago. And I'm gonna see if I can get one of my family members on to come tell that story, because when I tell y'all, I was on the floor crying.
Oh, Lord.
About a
I
Okay.
definitely need to hear this story.
Right, that part. We have to bring them
I
on for
need to hear
real.
this.
We need to hear from them though. Chassie been embellished a little bit. We need-
Hey, just tell us when the camera go off.
right. All right, so for the next one, agree or no, gender roles exist. Go ahead, Chris, since you laughing. Do gender roles
yes
exist?
and no.
Explain.
Yes and no. I don't believe that these days women are expected to stay barefoot and pregnant at the house, but at the same time, there are certain things that a man should do and certain things that a woman should do.
Give an example.
Right.
Okay. See, y'all can put me on the spot. A man is a man is supposed to be the provider. Not saying that a woman can't go out and get it, because we all know that she can. But at the end of the day, that man, if he's worth his salt, in his mind, he has to be the provider. So he has to fulfill that part of his role, regardless of what the woman is doing. And at the same time, I feel like a woman, even though she can go out in the world and do the same thing as a man does, women are taught growing up to be able to take care of house and home, be able to take care of kids and whatnot. Not saying that a man can't, but a mother is more compassionate and affectionate with their children than a father is. A father is more of the disciplinary type. Not saying that he can't show love, but I have seen that as far as discipline goes, that when the kids get in trouble, mama does her part. When the kids don't listen, mama comes to daddy and the kids do what they need to do. So, I mean, even though it's not smiled upon as gender roles, I do feel that in some aspect, buried deep down in the thick of it, yeah, there are gender roles.
I like how he was real careful with the responses. Y'all hear that, right? He was
Right.
real careful.
Very
He said something I'm going to ask a question about.
Well, let's hear Bird first. Go ahead, Bird. Gender roles, they exist.
I think in the modern marriages these days, no, they don't. Back, mama and daddy, grandma and grandpa, yes. But I don't think so per se now, because there is nothing that I can't do that neither can't do but one thing. So if it comes down to cleaning, I can clean. She can clean. If it comes down to cooking, I can cook. She can cook. Or if it comes down to financial, I can work. She can work. So therefore, I don't think that the gender roles exist more so in the modern marriage as well as much as it did back in the early 1900s or whatever.
Right.
I just feel that that's part of being equally yoked, that you both can do the same, pretty much the same stuff.
Right. All right, Chaz, what's your question?
So I want to say, I agree with Vern. I don't feel like gender roles exist. And I partly agree with Chris. I agree that it's like deep down rooted. Women are usually more nurturing and all that kind of stuff. One of the things that I guess bothers me is whenever men say that men are supposed to be the providers and they don't pay all the bills. So I want to ask, as a provider, is a man supposed to pay mortgage, lights, cars, and all that kind of stuff? And whatever the woman makes, that's just the extra income.
Well,
and now,
today's
today's society. Back then, I can understand it, but right now,
right. What's the definition of provider today? I guess is what she asked.
Being a provider is solely upon the money and paying the bills. I mean, I think that when you say being a provider, that you're providing the necessities of the family, such as emotional support, stability, things of that nature. It's not strictly financial.
Paper.
That's fine.
It's not strictly financial because it's far.
Good answer. Good answer.
Because like I said, I know for a fact that there are women out here that are getting it and taking care of house and home and paying part of the bills, if not all of the bills. So I get that. But as when I say that a man is embedded to be a provider, I mean he has to be prepared to go to war for his woman and his family. Not saying that a woman can't feel the same, because I understand that they
got it.
But I said as a man. As a man, you are instilled with that from childhood on up.
Right. I get it. So I just wanted to just understand whenever men say that they are providers, because I'd be like, well, the women can provide too. We can pay the bills.
I think people
no jobs trying to.
$2 in a Kit Kat, as Chassie would say. $2 in a Kit Kat. Yeah, I think when people use the word provider, it does just automatically put you in the mindset of the old school days.
Right.
So I feel like maybe we need to figure out another word and then provider, because back in the day, provider mean sperm donor. Back in the day, because back in the day, like Chastity said, like the man paid all the bills and what the woman made just added on to it, and that's what the definition of provider was taught to us. Right. So now that you have marriages that are they splitting the bills, maybe the man only pay a little bit more of the bills, things of that nature. I think maybe just the mind frame of what a provider is in people's head confuses it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it needs another terminology. So I don't know what that'll be.
Yeah,
right. I think maybe they would fix it.
Because nowadays, there's a lot of females out there in the workforce that makes a whole lot more money than the man does. Mm-hmm. So, with that being said, if the female is quote unquote the breadwinner or bringing home the bacon, should she pay more of the bills than the man does, or should it still be down the middle? Or
I personally think she should pay more if she, or I mean, number one, I want to put it there. I don't believe in gender roles. I believe that you should do what's best for your household. So I'm just gonna throw that out there. So that's whatever that works for y'all. Maybe in a household he's still supposed to give her his all and the woman ain't. I don't know. In my opinion, if I made a substantial amount more than Chris, I would feel bad taking all of his money and I'm out here balling. Like I feel like if I made more money, if a substantial amount, like $1 or $2, no, I mean that ain't worth the fight. Right. But if I'm talking about like a big amount, like I'm CEO of a company and he, whatever, I'm gonna pay more of the bills. Like that's only fair, like because we are partners. But that's just my opinion. I would love to know what you think.
I agree.
Question. And don't take this wrong or anything, because my question has nothing to do with my household. Me and my wife has agreed on what we're gonna do and stuff. And that's what we do. I just said that question comes to my mind after the comment we made a while ago.
Yeah. We have those questions all the time. Go ahead.
Listen, I be answering for other people a lot of times. It don't be my fault. I be answering for everybody else.
In that situation, if you did make substantially more and you felt like you had to pay more, how would that make you feel about my part or the other half, the other end of it? would you feel like I'm slacking or not holding up my end of the stick? Would you feel like you have to take that you're taking care of me?
Me personally, if this is just my answer, me personally, I'm a person, and this is in all walks of life. This is personal work, whatever. If you doing your best, that's all I can ask for you.
Right.
Now, if I'm making all this money, you decide, well, she got no money to pay all the bills, and you just out there doing whatever you want to do. That's different. But if you do,
hey, I'm a ball.
Right.
I'm a ball. I'm tell you, I'm a ball.
But if you doing your best, and we come upon an agreement, and this is your part of the bills, this is my part of the bills, we got an agreement, we both holding up our end of the bargain. It ain't nothing to complain about.
Right.
Right.
But my question is, a lot of men have a problem with women making more money than them, especially in our communities.
I don't
either. That means I ain't got to work so hard. No, I'm just playing.
Bye. I know that's a lie because I know he would not.
I don't.
Oh, man. So
Adam
said,
it doesn't matter who makes the most money, if it's the man or the woman, and if there's a need, we're going to be there for one another. So that's
right.
Right.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I think the people that have those kind of problems are the ones that are prideful and have insecurity issues.
We ain't gonna get started on insecurities now.
That's the whole other show.
That's part two. Part two of OP.
Y'all ain't got
okay.
Y'all ain't got enough time for that.
Right. Right. So Adam said in the comments, in today's society, I think we should accompany each other in every aspect of the household, which is true.
True.
Very true. I agree. All right, the last one for agree or nah, which I got this from a song, but what you don't know won't hurt you.
That's
a lie.
100% lie.
If you don't know it, how it's gonna hurt you?
Really? Because you really do know. Come on, let's be real.
Everybody should have a conscience. If you're doing something wrong, your conscience is gonna aggravate the far out of you about it,
and it's gonna show.
That's gonna hurt the person.
And anybody,
right?
Anybody that's perceptive, and know their partner, they know when something's wrong. They know when something ain't right.
Mm-hmm.
You right about
so
that.
You ain't really keeping it from them. They just don't know exactly what it is, but they know it's something.
They know something's going on.
Hey, what is
what, Chastity?
I'm not getting number 6. I'm not getting number 6, and I don't understand.
You stupid. Like, so usually she put it down like that. Now she like, oh. Man. You know, we all saying that though, but it's a lot. I can't speak for men because I don't chit chat with men, but I've heard a lot of women who know their husband cheating on them, but they be like, but nah, I ain't gonna say nothing to him. I ain't gonna be looking if I don't find it, whatever the case may be. Because
you know why they're saying that? Because they're doing something too.
Because they're doing it too.
Well,
not always. I don't think that's true always.
Yeah.
Oh no, maybe not at that moment.
I don't think so. I think that some women, they just don't want, they have to be married, and they don't want to find out, because if they find out, then they're going to have to make that decision of whether or not they're going to stay. So what they always say, let that man cheat in peace. So they just let the man cheat in peace.
Bye.
But I don't think they're doing the same thing.
Yeah, but that man, you letting that man cheat in, you letting that man cheat in peace, but that man may bring something back home. He's trying to get his other piece.
Right.
That's facts. She's like, not me. Let's be clear. We got to say Chris.
Let us all say when a woman's fed up.
What's the next line?
Ain't nothing you can do about it.
Oh, I couldn't think. That's R. Kelly.
We don't talk about R. Kelly on here.
I don't erase him out my brain.
They always say that when a woman leaves a relationship, she already got the next one lined up.
That ain't true though.
That ain't true.
That ain't true.
Hey, I'm just saying that's what they say. That's what them folks said.
Who is they?
Who is these? Who is them folks?
Them.
They always saying something. I don't know who they are.
Yeah, I don't know who this is.
Them,
Let's them is watching right now.
Them.
You got me. I don't want to hear
They need to mind their business.
that. Right. All right. So that was really good. That was really good. So our last little portion is called Analyze This. Analyze this. So Chastity has the first question. I'm gonna play it.
Okay. So I'm gonna do a little backstory. So marriage relationship with one is
Hold up.
Oh, wait, that's
Oh,
not
that wasn't yours,
that.
was it? That ain't yours. I'm sorry. Go ahead. You go do your backstory. Go ahead.
okay. So
need
I
to
was
know one.
trying to find questions that a single woman would want to ask a married man, and all the ones that I found was for women that was trying to sleep with married men. But I ended up stumbling across this interesting topic or page, whatever. And this woman had interviewed 3 men. So I want to tell y'all about the 3 different men, and then I'm gonna tell y'all the question that she asked and the answer that they did. So one man is a newlywed, and it says, try not to rain on his parade. He is in the honeymoon stage after what seems to have been a bad first marriage. What sounds like an ADHD who sounds like ADHD in a lovable way. And then we have the conflicted guy who is not that happy in his 16-year marriage, but trying to make a go for it. And then we have the restless guy who is older, twice married, and 3 years with no intimacy. So, okay. And then the question, yeah.
Okay. So finish this sentence. One way my wife can get me to do more things she won't is.
So I want to hear y'all's answer first.
Ask.
What?
Ask.
Oh, ass. I thought you said ASS. Ass.
Now you know better than that.
Now Chastity.
Not half minister and deacon over here. Ain't gonna say that on here, okay?
Ask.
But all she got to do is ask me, and yeah, just ask.
Just ask. Y'all think it's that simple?
ask.
They ask. Y'all do it.
Yeah, it is that simple. It's not, because people make it difficult, make it complicated, but it's that simple.
She can ask, and we can discuss it. Not saying that because she asked it's going to happen, but if she asks, we can discuss it and come to a conclusion, and either yay or nay.
What I hate is if you try to make me guess.
Men do the same thing. Men, y'all be trying to put that on the woman, but men think women mind readers. We supposed to know what's going on too.
Right.
But
it go both ways.
I would rather you just tell me so that
after hard days work and you're tired and stuff, sometimes the elevator don't go to the top, so let's ask. Don't assume that I know what you're asking for just because you rub my shoulder. You may think my shoulder's itching while you rub it.
What's your follow-up, Chase?
So the newlywed had answered. So the newlywed said oral. So he's newly married. So okay, that makes sense. The conflicted guy, which had been married for a while, he said doing more things that he wants, which I thought was interesting. Because I think that a lot of the times, if I'm being honest, a lot of times women are very selfish and we want things done, happy wife, happy life, and it has to be our way, and we kind of forget about what the man enjoys. And the last guy said that giving me a hug occasionally. So he just wanted just some type of intimacy.
Okay.
Which is interesting. I thought that was interesting.
Women are usually very touchy-feely, so if he ain't even getting a hug, that's a bigger issue.
Well, they ain't had sex in 3 years, so.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You did say that. You did say that. My bad.
Oh, well, dang.
Well, there may be a reason why they haven't had sex in 3 years.
Right. It could
Maybe
be health related.
He has ED or he may not be interested or whatever the case may be, but she need to find out why. If they're still, at that age and stuff, anything under 70 or so, when they still not doing anything, you need to find out why. It could be health issues or something.
Right. You're right. That could be both ways. That could be both ways. They could definitely be.
And it didn't give their ages. It just said how long they've been there.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it could have been some infidelity and somebody ain't forgot about it. Like, so many reasons why people.
Right.
3 years is a long time.
Yeah, Chris would die. Anywho, let's move. The next one is marriage is a relationship where one is always right and the other is the husband. I want to hear this. Let me put it back just in case you missed it.
I thought I had read it wrong.
Marriage is a relationship where one is always right and the other is the husband. Analyze that. How you feel?
I don't know about you, but I'm trying to get that number 6 too. So that's absolutely right. That's absolutely right. Check the box.
Do you agree or disagree?
Right, analyze it.
Check the box.
Really? That is not an answer.
That is not an answer. You still gonna get number 6. Just go ahead and answer the question.
Don't be making promises you can't keep. But for real, when I heard that question, it's like they saying that men feel unheard and unappreciated. Do you feel like a lot of women, I'm not saying y'all women, or maybe y'all women, do y'all feel like that's the case?
No.
No.
I think that when men tell women what they will do for them and whatnot, they don't appreciate that or take it to heart, and then they think that the man's being run over. I mean, if I tell you that I'll pretty much do anything for you, then that's what I'm gonna do. And I don't expect you to feel bad about it because I'm not feeling bad about it. It's what I want to do. So if they tell you that's what they want to do, then take it to heart that that's what they want to do.
What about
that mean that it's right?
If they allow it to be, it's on them. It's not on you.
Chris just want number 6.
What I'm saying.
I mean, people allowed to be themselves to be beat on. That don't mean it's right.
Right.
I'm saying it's not on you. You dictate in your life and your relationship what you feel is right or wrong. Regardless of what somebody from the outside says, you believe what you believe. So
agree. But do you feel like men are often unheard when it comes to a relationship?
I'm not.
No.
You're like, I can only speak for me. Okay, what about
you? I'm not.
So you want to know my answer?
So I guess I'm a seasoned person, I guess, and I have to say I disagree with that, because if there's something that we need to discuss or whatever, we discuss it in like adults. Talking about if she wants steak and I want chicken, talking about we can compromise. Talking about not that the steak was right and the chicken was wrong, but just that's what I want, that's what she wants. So more than likely we're gonna have chicken and steak.
all right.
And as far as anything, major, talking about anything major such as purchases or whatever that she want or I want, we discussed that before we go out and make purchases and stuff. Because not that her money is her money, my money is my money or whatever, but we got to look out for the future. If anything happened at the house or whatever, you know, we got to make sure that we got money for that to get it fixed and stuff. So we sit down and we'll discuss it. Talking about now, as far as me going out buying clothes or whatever, no, I don't discuss nothing like that with her, and she buy what she wants and stuff. But anything major or whatever, you know, we will discuss anything dealing with the house or whatever. But she's not gonna do anything, you know, that she think that well she's not gonna do anything without consulting with me first. Put it like that, and vice versa.
Got you.
So that's where that equally yoke coming in at again. About,
right.
A divided house ain't gonna fall because ain't no sense of, you know, me, if I tell her, Nita, I want to buy new furniture, and she say, no, not right now, whatever, I'm not gonna go out behind the back and buy that stuff, because that's when confusion come in, and a divided house is not gonna stand.
Right.
And stuff. Talking about, you know, I gotta stay here with her and stuff, and sleeping on the couch is not very comfortable. I don't sleep in my bed, so therefore, we need to wait. I'm gonna wait.
That's right.
There have been some things in the past that I thought I was doing the right thing and going ahead and getting done, and then after I got it done and stuff, she felt like she was left out because I didn't consult her first, and I seen her point on it and stuff. But you know, sometimes when that happens, you have to, what they call now, have a cooling period, and then discuss. Sometimes you can't discuss things when, you know, when one or the other is, you know, a little bit upset. You need to let them cool off and then discuss it. It may be a day, it may be 2 days, it may be a week, but it still needs to be discussed. But sometimes you have to just wait.
Ooh, you know how long it took me to learn about that cooler period.
Uh-huh.
I used to be like, no, we're gonna talk about it right now. And he's like, no, I ain't ready.
No,
and I'll be like, no, we married. Talk right now. You know how many arguments we had like that?
No, because somebody's gonna say something they might regret if you talk about it.
And that's exactly what he would say. That's exactly what he would say.
There was a situation where I tried to take care of something on my own without informing her about it, and it didn't work out the way that I planned, so it kind of smacked me in the face, and then I had to bring it to her, and then she was like, well, why didn't you tell me in the beginning, and we could have worked it out or figured out a plan of attack. And you know, that's you just got to communicate everything.
That's the key. Communication is the key.
She ain't feeling this.
Right. Chaz, now you looking why?
Chaz said, I'm single. I ain't listening to nobody.
She is out. Let me take her out.
Listen to the rest.
We didn't mean to scare you off, Chaz.
She probably doing something else. All right, so the last one is, analyze this. Marriage is not just spiritual communion. It is also remembering to take out the trash. Any thoughts?
Yeah. Equally yoked. We both get the trash out around here.
Okay, she back there. I don't know, whatever.
I'm sick of a message.
Is that physical? Is that physical trash or symbolic trash?
What
was the question? Let me see.
I think it's just physical. I don't think what the word is symbolic trash. I don't know. It is marriage is not just a spiritual communion. It is also remembering to take out the trash. What do you think the deeper meaning behind that is, Chaz?
I have no idea. I'm not even gonna attempt it because I have no idea. I want to say that it means that you have to get rid of your baggage. It's like Erykah Badu, the song "Bag Lady." A lot of people thought that she had a whole lot of bags, but it meant that she had a whole lot of baggage. And in marriage, you got to get rid of that baggage in order for it to work and to keep growing and for people to grow and grow with each other. That's what I think, but I don't know.
That's pretty good. I must say that's pretty good.
You know how much I paid for that luggage?
Shut up, Chris. Shut up. He said, you know how much I paid for that luggage?
What luggage?
That bag, like them bags you talking about.
Well, you know, in our reality, for a marriage to last, you do have to take out the baggage because you can't physically make it if you keep bringing up things that happened in the past because I was with somebody else 10 years ago or whatever. You can't keep bringing that up or whatever. And I can't keep on latching on to it either. I am married now, so therefore, what I've done prior to us getting married, I need to let that go. Right. And if I say something to the effect is, I'm using food again because we both like to eat. So if I say so and so made potatoes and onions better than you can make them. That's not nothing to say.
I wish you would.
Exactly.
Or,
exactly. So you know,
I didn't go through this with so and so.
Yeah. So and so did this, and you know, you can't do that. You got to let that go. Your spouse got to let that go. Your significant other got to let that go. You can't keep on bringing up the past because if you bring up the past, it's going to mess up your future. So therefore, the best thing to do is once you and whoever get together and y'all decide to make a go of it, anything prior to that needs to be wiped away. Wipe the slate clean and let us start fresh.
Right.
And there's a lot of reasons why relationships don't last is because past relationships is brought up a whole lot. And in some cases it is because there may be kids involved or something. And so therefore, you know, you can't get rid of the kids. So, you know, but if there's no kids involved, there's no reason why I should bring up any past relationship that neither ever had. None whatsoever.
I think the baggage that we forget about is people, like when you think about baggage, you automatically think about a bad relationship, your ex or whatever. But what about those trauma issues that you went through as childhood? That's baggage as well. Like you thinking about what you don't want to do. Like you seen your parents go through, your mom, your dad, the arguments they had, the separations, they get back together, the marriage, whatever it is that you seen growing up. I feel like a lot of that is a lot of the baggage that you actually bring to your relationship, but people don't see that as baggage. All they think about is, oh, what my ex did. But what do y'all think? Do y'all think? I feel like that's baggage in itself too, and that's a lot of the stuff we push to the back of our mind and don't realize it's coming in our marriage as well.
There's never been closure,
right?
And so therefore, yeah, you could bring that into the relationship or whatever because you still needing. Not per se attention, but you need empathy. I'll put it like that. Sometimes you might need to get it out. Talking about, you know, you might not have the chance to talk about it with anybody else or anything, and you might need to get it out in the open so you can have the closure. And if you feel comfortable with your spouse or significant other, they may be the best person that you may be able to talk to about that. They may offer you some guidance so you can get the closure. It's better to do that than to keep it balled up for the rest of your life.
Yeah. I also feel like, I mean, you can't even get the closure because a lot of Black households just don't talk about stuff. We go through trauma, or we go through situations, and then we just roll on like it never happened. Like it's just gonna disappear.
And that's not always the case. And I feel like
always the case.
And I feel like that's why a lot of the times, even though I'm not married, I feel like, but that's why a lot of the times people bring the past into whatever relationship or marriage that they have is because they was never able to get over what happened to them as a child. So what happened to them as a child was the reason why they dealt with whoever they dealt with whenever they was married or dating and got hurt. And then they go out to meet this person and they married this person, but they're still hurt from their mama or daddy and from their first boyfriend, their first baby daddy and all this kind of stuff. And then you're bringing all of that and throwing it on one person and thinking that that one person is supposed to handle all of that. And it's not fair. And I feel like people, the black community don't believe in therapy. And we need to utilize therapy more often because you need to release that information to somebody and they need to give you the skills in order to cope and manage and get through life without having to keep bringing this baggage up.
Right.
Now, do you think that something that happened in a person's childhood and now they're say 40s or 50s that they can still get over it?
I think they can. Well,
yeah, I think they can if it's dealt with properly. I think so. But like Chastity said, that may be therapy, and a lot of people, especially a lot of black men, won't do therapy.
Right.
That was that. Let the company look. The Brady.
I'm just saying. A lot of black men don't want to do therapy. Just saying.
But
see what happens
also
when you
that may be true, but that person's gotta want it before it's gonna help.
Right. I actually heard that's funny because I was listening to some podcast the other day and they say it's actually like a therapeutic moment to even get to the point where you can even go to have therapy with somebody. And I was like, that's interesting. Never thought about that. But I feel like you got to get to, it's just like whenever somebody is addicted to drugs and all that kind of stuff, you can't make them get clean. They have to want to get clean on their own.
Right.
Because I don't been
my mother used to tell me that you don't when you try to change it don't matter what you try, but until you reach that point where you just fed up and you can't take it no more, that's the only time that you allow yourself to really change.
Right.
That's so true. That's so true.
Yeah.
I think childhood trauma does one of two things. It either repeats in your life. So the things that happened when you were a child, you end up realizing one day you doing the same exact mess. Or I feel like it makes you so against things like, I'm not gonna deal with no, like, for example, I'm not gonna deal with no man, no attitude. So if he show me an attitude, I'm out. And it may just been a moment of weakness and everybody gets mad. Everybody's human, but then you just pushing everybody off on your list that don't meet the requirements just because you never dealt with the trauma in the first place.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. That's what I think. Oh man, well, any final thoughts?
Final thoughts.
Yes.
Marriage is what you make out of it. Marriage is what you make out of it. You can have a good marriage. You can
I was about to say the same thing.
But that's going to depend on how you treat the other person. If you want respect, give respect. If you want to be ugly to them, they're going to be ugly back to you. So love one another and go and sin no more.
That's right.
All right, preach.
I feel like your mama said that too.
The good book said, "Do unto others as you would have others to do unto you." So therefore, you get back what you put in. So
facts. What about you, Chad? You got any final thoughts from a single one of you?
I feel like as the single woman, I was on here dropping some gems.
You
So that right there is just mine. I was
see, Chelsea, you're a single woman with a married soul.
Well, she said she don't know about all that. No, I swear. She said she don't know about all that.
Tonight, maybe tomorrow might be a different ball game.
Right, it might be their ball game. Well, I think this was an amazing conversation. Thank you both so much for joining. I love you both so much, and I appreciate y'all coming on and being part of our shenanigans. For folks who are watching or that will be watching later, we would love it so much if you please subscribe to our YouTube page and follow our Facebook page. And Chastity, I always say as well, go on Apple and stuff and give us reviews or whatever, things of that nature. So we are on Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeart, Pandora, all of them. You name it. We on it. So please go on there.
Is it 6 of those?
What? Bye. Also, if you would like to, I'll say sow into the ministry, which is so wrong. You can always give at money sign occasionally posh at our cash app. So if anyone have any interesting topics, they want to join in on our podcast, they want to be a part of whatever, you can email us at occasionallyposh@gmail.com, or you can inbox us on Facebook and Instagram. So that's all I got.
Well, I think you need to have a podcast on why is gas so darn high.
I ain't got nothing for that. Unless we can get the president on, I ain't got nothing.
I think that's it. I don't understand how come the president being blamed on the high price of gas.
It's not the president.
He ain't gonna do with gas.
It's deeper than that.
You right. We just blame everything on the president.
He don't know what time it is. He said it's 6 o'clock.
You know what?
It is somewhere.
Bye. Again, guys, y'all stay on, but we're gonna get off the live. So thank you all so much for watching. And I had something come to my mind the other day, and I want to say I want you to remember to listen more, talk less, and never forget that we are all human. So just keep that in your mind when you're going through your day to day. And thank you so much, everybody. Bye.
Bye. Yes.
Deuces.